My name is Wendy Walker, and today we're going to talk about the intimate partner violence and the family. First, I would like to start with social class, where it refers to the way individuals are positioned within a hierarchy of economic and social standing in society. In the U.S., this hierarchy plays a major role in shaping a person's opportunity and everyday experiences. Differences in earnings, educational attainment, and career paths influence where someone falls within the class structure. These differences affect access to resources such as healthcare, housing quality, and educational opportunities. Throughout the United States is often described as a society where people can achieve success through hard work. Social class still has a strong influence on life's outcomes. Understanding how social class operates helps explain why individuals experience different levels of opportunity and mobility throughout their lives and why inequality continues to exist within American society. Intimate partner violence, often called IPV, is not limited to physical abuse. It can also include sexual abuse, stalking, emotional abuse, threats, intimidation, isolation, and controlling behavior. This is important because many victims experience abuse before there are even visible injuries. IPV can happen in a marriage, dating relationship, cohabitating relationship, and relationships that have already ended. It affects families because the abuse changes the home from a place of safety to a place of fear. For sociology students, IPV should be understood as both a private family issue and a large social problem. IPV is still a major issue in the United States. National data shows that many people experience violence, stalking, or psychological aggression from an intimate partner during their lifetime. Even though women are often described as the primary victims, men can also be a victim. Children are affected when violence happens in the home, even if they are not physically attacked. They may witness fear, arguments, threats, and even injury. This can shape their emotional development and their views of relationships. IPV is not only about one couple, it affects the entire household and can continue across generations. In the 1950s, American culture often emphasized traditional marriages, male authority, and keeping the family together. Because of this, violence inside marriage was often hidden or minimized. Many victims had few resources, fewer legal protections, and less public support. People and courts were also less likely to treat domestic violence as a serious crime. This doesn't mean that IPV was rare during the 50s. It just means the abuse was more likely to stay private. Victims often faced pressure to remain silent because divorce carried a stigma, and family problems were expected to be handled inside the home. So a major shift happened during the 1970s as the battered women's movement brought more attention to domestic violence. Advocates created shelter, hotlines, and public awareness campaigns. This changed the way society talked about abuse in marriage and dating relationships. IPV began to be seen as a social problem connected to power, control, gender expectations, and legal protection. This was important because it gave victims more ways to seek help. It also challenged the belief that staying married should always be treated as more important than safety. The family is still valued, but safety became harder to ignore. So let's move on to the 1990s, which brought a stronger public attention to domestic violence, especially after the Violence Against Women Act was passed in 1994. The Bureau of Justice Statistic data shows that inmate partner violence declined by 64% from 1994 to 2010. This suggests that legal reform, public education, shelter, and victim services made a difference. However, this does not mean IPV has disappeared. Many victims still do not report abuse because they fear retaliation, financial instability, losing custody, shame, or not being believed. Today, IPV is more openly recognized, but many families still experience it privately. So, IPV changes families emotionally, socially, and financially. Victims may experience anxiety, depression, trauma, physical injury, and fear of future violence. Family routines may break down because the victim may need to leave the home to find shelter, change jobs, seek legal protection, or move children to a different school. Children can also experience the stress, the fear, the behavioral problems, and confusion about what a healthy relationship looks like. IPV can also create financial dependency, which makes leaving harder. In many cases, the family structure changes because separation becomes necessary for safety. So let's bring religion into it. Religion can affect intimate partner violence in both positive and negative ways. On the positive side, church and faith communities can provide emotional support, prayer, counseling, referrals, shelter, connections, and a moral accountability for the abuser. A healthy Christian response should clearly reject violence and protect the victim. But on the negative side, religious beliefs can become harmful when victims are pressured to stay in a marriage, forgive too quickly, or remain silent to protect the family's image. Some victims may also fear judgment from the church. This is why religious support must focus on safety first. From a Christian worldview, IPV should be rejected because every person is made in the image of God and dignity. A Christian response should be to protect the image of the marriage more than the safety of the victim. Churches and Christian families can help stop IPV by believing the victims, encouraging safety plans, supporting professional counseling, reporting danger when needed, and refusing to excuse abuse with Scripture. The family can also be a force for positive social change by teaching children that love is not control, forgiveness is not permission for abuse, and faith should protect the vulnerable. I hope you've enjoyed my presentation today. Again, my name is Wendy Walker, and thanks for watching.